So imagine a section that will give an idea. It's an idea of the volumetric development of our forms. I'm using this abstract shape because I want this to show mostly the concept rather than how we're going to apply this to a human figure. For example, this is a reference image that we might use later on. See how this core shadow here is like this, right? This core shadow here, it's not visible everywhere, but here is very visible here, right? See light mass, reflected light and shadow mass, core shadow. So this core shadow here helps us to figure out, see that core shadow here, right? The peak of the form, the passage between light mass and shadow mass. And you can see how the gluteus medius in here, right? The gluteus maximus in here. This is the fat that we have under the gluteus in here. This is the peak of the hamstring, etc., etc. So, but if I draw something like this, the risk is that we focus on the detail, we focus on copying the figure, and don't really grasp the concept. So this is more about the concept, the idea, how to understand, right? We're trying to understand the light or form from a point of view of just the concept and not apply to the figure. So now here we can try to create the direction, right, of this, right? So direction of the core shadow, I can block it in like this. I want to keep it light, right? Maybe soft. Then you're gonna go up and then down like this, and then down and up, right here like this, and up again. Now I just want to see the direction of this, right? The direction of the core shadow, right? And not the width, right? I want to orient the core shadow properly. So let me now block this in a little bit more clearly, right? And we can start already giving a bit more of a differentiate the core shadows here, right? Depending on what surface they are, right? What are the characteristic of the surface that produces them. And then here, right, this is going to be more uniform, see that? And that's going to be gradually from narrow, because this is widens, right? This is widening, right? And the form here from more rounder and narrower gets flatter and wider. Then, of course, we know that here the core shadow is also going to be wider, right? Like that, right? So now we have this light mass, shadow mass. Let's block in a little bit of the light mass, not much, right? Just to block in the area of tonal competence, right? I'm gonna leave this section here. It's gonna help, right? And then here, right? See how useful these pot crayon are, right? Right here, right? See that, right? See that? So, and now we're gonna block out, clearly we have imagined the light is coming from this direction, right? This direction here, like this. Should have done it earlier, but here, right? Like this, right? So now we can block in the shadow mass here. We're gonna block in the whole area here. Gonna put a layer of charcoal over here. And here, right? Look how quickly we get to 4 values, right? 4 values that are positioned properly in terms of structural characteristics of the form. Right? And we can use the fingers to smooth it out. All right,